We're very excited to welcome once again Mr. Chevy Chase. Chevy, thank you for coming on.
Chevy Chase. I've never heard a voice that low in my life.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the compliment.
Yes, who is this, please?
That's Preston, who has the low voice, and I'm the bald guy, if you can see us. So I'm Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you the guy with the voice?
No, Preston.
I think I'm the guy with the voice.
That was very good. I loved it.
Thank you. Hey, Chevy.
Hi, guys. Nice to see you.
It's
Nice to
wonderful
see
to
you.
have you on. I needed to ask, you 39 years ago, you guys made the film National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. And when you think back to that time when you were filming it, did you know that you had something extra special in that film and that people would still be loving it today? Because I've already watched it 3 times in the past couple of weeks.
No, I didn't like it. But, no, of course. Let me just say this. When I make movies, I hope that people will like it, but you don't know, really. In fact, I've been doing recently some appearances, such as the one I'll be doing in Atlantic City at Tropicana, where I'm with an actual audience of, I don't know, a few thousand people or whatever. And until that time, I've never seen my audience. Basically, you make a movie and you never know anything. Once I snuck into a theater with Dustin Hoffman when we did a movie. I just snuck in and stayed in the back to see if they'd laugh.
Right.
But, I mean, really, it's the same thing with Dustin or anybody. It's just, we don't know.
Well, you know what? It's become a holiday classic, and it deserves that. But I also think, in a way, it might National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation might get short shrift on the emotional level because it resonates on so many of those levels as well. I remember years ago when I was a kid, my dad was sweating out a Christmas bonus check. And so that all of that, and I think it's captured beautifully in the movie in the attic scene where and I well up at that scene. That is a beautiful scene. How did that come together?
Oh, that's funny you should ask that. Well, it's not that funny, but we were in Breckenridge, Colorado on a ski slope shooting the very first scene in the movie where I'm going down the hill, and which you'll notice and see if you watch it. But it suddenly a blizzard hit us, and we were supposed to go back to L.A. and start shooting, and we ended up having to stay there. So the bed and breakfast that we were in had an attic. And we thought, well, let's try out their attic, which we did. That's where we shot it.
Wow.
In their attic. And I was happy to find, a couple of boards I could stand on that would hit me in the back of the head and in the front of the head and, whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's how we did it. And then at the end of that scene, might be interesting for those who watch it, I look out a window outside and see my family either arriving or driving away or something. That was shot in L.A. because if I looked out that window in Breckenridge, I would just see other houses and naked people. I lied.
No, but Steve's right. And I watched this movie the first time I was a teenager, and now I'm a father and I have 3 kids, and so the movie kind of on a few different times hits differently now as a father. And, somebody who prepares to make sure that, Christmas morning is as magical for my kids as it was for me. So, yeah, that one scene in particular is it's different.
Great.
But I always get surprised that when I can laugh at the same joke over and over again. And Chevy, the scene with you and the lady at the lingerie counter, it does not. Every single time I watch it, I'm like, I cannot believe that I'm like legit laughing out loud at the same joke over and over again. And when she says, "Can I take something out for you?" and you just start laughing, I laugh along with you. And
I know. I'm not going to say it on the air here, but
Thank you.
no, I love that part. And then you can't see the line, can you, Russ?
Is it lost on you at all that, and I don't, you have to be aware of this, that people quote you all the time? Like, I can't go play around the golf without using one of your lines from Caddyshack.
Fletch, everything, yeah.
Christmas time, there's always, Fletch. I have 2 Fletch sound clips that I play. You can hear these. Hey! And this one, I use those clips all the time, and it's just these little subtle things. Is it lost on you that you're part of people's everyday vernacular?
No. Well, it's lost on me, and that nobody tells me this except
Us.
a sad guy like you.
No, I'm happy.
Honestly, I suppose I make those movies just for that reason. I'm different than other people who are quote comedians, and I say what maybe my dad would have thought was funny, that kind of thing. So I'm amazed at people's reactions, and I love it because he made me laugh a lot. So there you are.
No, that makes sense. There's a wonderful, and I just in research for talking to you, I checked out, did some reading and watched a video. There was a video of you with your daughter and your wife watching. This is a couple of years ago. You're watching the movie, and it was phenomenal because it's your daughter and you looking at each other, especially in the lingerie scene, and and she's like, "Oh, Dad!" You could just see it on her face, and you give her this loving look, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I also have 3 children, and they're my daughters. Of course, they're now in their 30s, but we're a very close family. This is where I live. This is what I do. I live with my wife and 3 daughters, and God, do I love them all. They're just the best, and I wouldn't be alive if it weren't for them. Not to say that I was dying or something, but just, I just, that's it. I mean, I was looking at my wife this morning. I was in bed on top of her. No, I was in bed. No, I just look over, I peek over to her side of the bed, and she's out like or something, and I just love her.
Yeah, no, I absolutely understand that. What I also love, Chevy, so you love the actual describing the movie, and people are going to go see you. You're going to get your money's worth because you have tons of stories. And I did not know that the house featured in the Christmas Vacation was actually the same house used in the Lethal Weapon movies.
Well, that's right. Once we went to L.A. after getting out of that place, we had a place called the Warner Ranch. It was right across from Warner Brothers Studios. And there must have been 12 or so houses that they would use over the years. And we picked one that had a great lawn. And on the lawn, by the way, there was a toilet, just a toilet. You mentioned Lethal Weapon. That I believe there was a toilet scene at the very end of Danny
Glover.
Danny Thomas. What?
Danny Thomas. Danny Glover. Danny Glover's on the toilet. Yeah.
Like the toilet explodes or something.
Yeah.
So I said that's got to be the house for us, and the property people had clearly forgotten to remove the toilet, or just said that heck with it, and they got another house, and so I had our property people please remove the toilet from the lawn. And then there's this scene, it's like one of the first scenes in the movie in which I fall off the roof, setting the lights up.
Right.
And I land behind this bush, and I landed on the toilet. Nobody saw that, but that's where the property people this time put it.
Oh, my God.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, we are going to have, there's one of the stars of Christmas Vacation actually still lives in this area, and we're going to have her in studio on Monday. The young girl who played Ruby Sue, Ellen Latson's going to be here on Monday.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, so
what a little kitty.
Yeah, well, she's a grown-up now. Do you have any memories of shooting any scenes with her? Because you guys did have that really touching scene.
Beautiful.
When you were
Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa Claus, yeah.
Yeah. We went out together after that.
That's cool.
I'm kidding.
That would have been illegal at the time.
I would have been. I'll say. No, she was a lovely girl. I can't remember exactly what Ruby Sue ended up doing because I never really, I sort of lost track of her. But her name is Ellen.
Yeah.
And I hope for the best for her. She was terrific fun. Yeah.
Talking about speaking of the cast, when the entire family is at the Griswolds, look at the lineup of people that were in that living room: John Randolph, Diane Ladd, E.G. Marshall, Doris Roberts, Randy Quaid, of course, William Hickley, the great Mae Questel. What a group of actors! That just must have been.
Don't forget Beverly D'Angelo.
Beverly D'Angelo, of course.
Yeah. In trouble.
And
no, you're right. Mae Questel and John John Randolph was my dad. May Castell. Yeah, a great group of really good actors. William Hickey was a teacher, and some of the greatest actors went to his school.
I think at that point he just won the Oscar for, was it Prizzi's Honor?
No, I didn't win it for that one, but I won it for the.
No, he did.
Yeah. Oh, that's correct. I'm so sorry. Yes, he did.
Yeah. Well, having that cast at that level of capability,
Yeah.
for in supporting roles, just made everything that much better. Now, the legend has it that you also incurred an injury during the tirade sequence with the front lawn decorations that were not working with you. Is that true?
Well, that's right. It was a rant when I was ranting about how I couldn't get the, things together and all that. And I just, from out of nowhere, decided to kick these reindeer that were on the lawn, punch them.
Right.
Because I was angry at everything. And that wasn't supposed to be in the movie. I just did it and the camera followed me.
No.
And I came back with a broken finger after doing it. I thought it was like made of mud or something. I didn't know what it was made of, but it certainly didn't absorb anything except my bones.
Speaking of rants, when you finally, when the dam breaks and you realize, Clark is not going to get the bonus, and you go on that, bug-eyed, fish-eyed, blah, blah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Was that, had you written all that out yourself and rehearsed all of that, or was some of that just coming off the cuff while you were going through that?
No, we wrote it. Actually, I wrote it, come to think of it. And each one of those adults watching me do it, had a little card on the front of their.
That is great.
You can't see. You can look for it, but you can't see it, and so that's why I put all those words, because I couldn't remember them all. It was just too many.
And that's
Isn't that a great thing to know?
That's what I was wondering, because it is a lengthy string of pseudo profanities.
That's
that
wild.
were just all over the place. They were bizarre.
That's Brando that was the thing Brando did during The Godfather. He had the actors he was facing. They had cue cards on them. Because that's a string of things to remember, but it's one of the seminal scenes. And correct me if I'm wrong, Beverly D'Angelo has an improv physically when the SWAT agents come through the windows, correct?
Oh, did you say erect?
Yeah, it pertains to that.
Oh, you said correct. Yeah. No, you're right. That just sort of happened. I did not feel a thing, just for those who might watch the movie, but which made me cry inside.
Oh.
I did not feel a thing, but that's just Bev. She just happened to do that, and so you'll see it in the movie.
That's beautiful.
You guys have such a chemistry, and we talked to her just recently, and that's. And there's obviously a real friendship there. And in that moment, when you first met her and you were doing the first movie, did you try with anyone else? Was it just were you kind of just paired with Beverly D'Angelo right from the get-go and realized you had that chemistry?
Not paired. I paired.
You paired.
I interviewed quite a few girls for that role.
I see.
And Bev just seemed right away. So
yeah.
I chose that girl.
And I saw that you and her and Christy Brinkley was at Comic-Con recently, or it was at convention?
Oh, a few days ago, yeah.
Does that does that happen from time to time? Some of the national the vacation family kind of run into each other here and there?
Not really.
Okay.
That just happened to be. I know. Why did that happen to be? It did anyway.
Yeah.
Christy and Bev are quite a couple. I won't even get into it. It's too funny.
That's awesome.
I say Randy Quaid is of course amazing in it, and Randy's taken some turns since the movie, but that he comedically, for a guy who's also a tremendous actor, a dramatic actor, he just ate that role up. Was some of your dialogue improv with him as well?
I backed off a little bit and turned your volume off. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we lost you for just a second.
You were saying Randy.
Randy Quaid.
I was about to say that Randy. If it weren't for Randy, I wouldn't make those movies. As you said, he's a brilliant actor. Period. and he just came out and you serious, Clark? You know, that guy.
Yeah.
And I do a good impression of Randy, and I just think he's such a solid guy. I spoke to him on the phone relatively recently, and he was home with his wife and child, who unfortunately is a puppy, a dog. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, but no, Randy and his, he's just a regular guy. I mean, I can't tell you, when we're walking through that grocery store and he keeps piling the dog food on the thing, I'm not going to give it all away, but that's the guy I wanted.
Yeah.
And he did that, by the way, out of nowhere. He just started piling those things on.
It's hilarious.
I picked up some light bulbs and put that there to see what would happen.
Chevy, do you have a favorite of any of the vacation movies? I mean, each one of them means something different to each one of us. Is there one that stands out to you?
Well, I like the Godfather version.
The Godfather's an American masterpiece.
I know. So is one of mine, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep fighting for it. No, I don't think. I think the first vacation and Christmas Vacation are probably my favorites. But then then I think about European Vacation. That was very funny.
Yeah.
I had Eric Idle in that, and then Vegas Vacation wasn't my favorite. It was rough to do, but otherwise, I mean, I enjoyed it very much, obviously. But I think the first one and the last one.
Well, there are tons of stories associated with the movies, and I'll just bring up one that you got a lot of tidbits that you've given us today. But as the legend goes, Chris Columbus was offered the directing role for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation first, and then passed on it, and he went on to direct Home Alone from that. Is that correct?
No, actually, he discovered the country in 1492.
Oh, it was that one. Wow.
Anyway, I have no idea if that's really true. I don't know Chris Columbus.
Okay.
I always wanted Harold Ramis, and is that who I got?
No, you got Jeremiah Chechik.
Oh, I got Jeremiah. Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So there you have it. My knowledge of that is really shaky.
What you've given us is worth it, though. The conversation has been great, and this is some of what you'll get if you attend the screening and the conversation afterwards.
Yeah, this is going to be
thank you.
Saturday night at Tropicana Casino and Resort NAC. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. I'm actually going to give away some here in just a little bit.
8 o'clock. It'll be great fun. I hope the place fills up and is packed with young girls.
As a fan,
wonderful people.
As a fan, we are thrilled you're doing this with your movie catalog, because we are massive fans.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's very nice. Thank you. I thank you for that.
Thank you so much,
interview.
Chevy. Have a great holiday. Enjoy the weekend and take care of yourself, okay?
Well, you too, guys.
All right, thank you. Chevy Chase, guys. I mean, come on, man.